Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today we will be looking at OpenAI's new GPT 5.6 reasoning preview hitting the API, Google bringing full screen control to Gemini live on Android 17, Anthropic launching Claude Secure Vault for regulated industries, and Nvidia unveiling the Blackwell B300 Ultra for agentic inference. Let's get into it. OpenAI dropped GPT 5.6 reasoning preview into its API on February 18th, and this one is clearly aimed at enterprise customers who need their AI agents to think through problems step by step without making things up along the way. The model is focused on multi-step reasoning, reliable tool use, and lower hallucination rates, especially in complex enterprise workflows. According to OpenAI's own benchmarks, it scores 71.2% on SWE Bench Verified, which is a well-known coding benchmark, compared to 65% for GPT 5.5. It also showed gains on financial reasoning tasks. The context window comes in at 1.5 million tokens, and there is a new tool memory persistence feature that keeps tool state for up to 30 days for enterprise organizations, which is pretty significant if you are building agent systems that need to remember what tools they used and what happened over long periods of time. Right now, the model is available to enterprise and Tier 5 API customers under the model ID GPT 5.6 reasoning preview. Pricing is higher than GPT 5.5 Turbo, so OpenAI is clearly positioning this as a premium reasoning tier rather than a general-purpose workhorse. On the compliance side, SOC 2 Type 2 alignment is maintained, and FedRAMP moderate review is still ongoing. Sam Altman posted on X shortly after launch, saying, quote, GPT 5.6 shows meaningful gains in tool reliability and reduced hallucinations in multi-step workflows. AI researcher Simon Willison followed up a few hours later noting early tests, noticeably stronger structured reasoning vs 5.5. Developer feedback has been broadly positive on the quality of outputs, especially deterministic and structured results, though some have flagged concerns about the higher API costs. The Verge independently confirmed the release timing and benchmark claims. The big picture here is that OpenAI is leaning hard into reliability as the selling point rather than raw creative power, and that makes a lot of sense when your customers are building production agent systems that need to get things right consistently. Moving over to Google, the company expanded Gemini Live with full app-level screen control inside the Android 17 beta on February 18th. This is a pretty big leap. Gemini can now actually navigate your phone's settings, compose messages, and summarize content within apps, all with user confirmation before taking actions. The feature works with Google Workspace apps, and also with third-party apps, through a new set of Gemini OS APIs. For developers, there is a new Gemini Actions SDK that lets them build integrations so Gemini can interact with their apps directly. The way it works under the hood is a hybrid inference setup. Privacy-sensitive tasks run locally on the device using Gemini Nano, while more complex requests get routed to Gemini 3.3 Pro in the cloud. Google claims a 22% latency improvement over prior live vision builds, which should make the interactions feel more natural and responsive. Right now, you need a Pixel 10 device enrolled in the Android 17 Beta 2 to try it out, so it is a fairly limited rollout for the moment. Sissy Xiao, VP and GM of Gemini at Google, said in the announcement, "This is the next step toward an ambient proactive assistant." Tech YouTuber Marques Brownlee put it more bluntly on X, calling it basically Auto GPT for your phone, but sandboxed. That sandboxing piece is important because user reactions have been a mix of excitement about having an AI that can actually do things on your phone, and understandable caution about an AI being able to see and interact with everything on your screen. Google is essentially moving Gemini from being something you talk to into something that operates your device on your behalf, and that puts it in direct competition with what Apple and Microsoft are doing with their own assistant strategies. Now to Anthropic, which actually kicked off the week a day earlier on February 17th with the launch of Claude Secure Vault. This is an encrypted execution environment built specifically for highly regulated industries like financial services, healthcare, and government. The idea is straightforward but really important. Organizations in these sectors often cannot send sensitive data to an AI model in the cloud because of compliance requirements. Secure Vault addresses that by offering end-to-end encrypted inference, hardware-backed key management, and tamper-evident reasoning logs. That last part means you get a verifiable audit trail of exactly what the model did and why, which is critical when regulators come knocking. The product builds on Claude Opus 4.7's secure reasoning mode and is available in AWS GovCloud and Azure Confidential Computing environments. Anthropic has built deployment pathways aligned with HIPAA for healthcare and FINRA for financial services. Dario Amodei, Anthropic CEO, explained it this way. Secure Vault enables Claude to reason over sensitive data without exposing raw inputs. Alex Rampo, a general partner at A16Z, added on X, this directly addresses the biggest blocker in financial AI adoption, compliance. Enterprise IT leaders on LinkedIn described it as the first serious alternative to hosting a large language model on your own servers, which has been the default approach for organizations that could not risk sending data to external APIs. This is Anthropic carving out a very clear niche, making Claude the model that compliance-heavy organizations can actually deploy without losing sleep over regulatory exposure. And finally, Nvidia came out swinging early on February 19th with the announcement of the Blackwell B300 Ultra, a new chip specifically optimized for multi-agent inference workloads. To break that down, inference is what happens when an AI model actually processes your request and generates a response, as opposed to training, which is how the model learns in the first place. As more companies deploy AI agents that need to reason through long documents and coordinate with other agents, the compute demands for inference are growing rapidly. The B300 Ultra is built for exactly that scenario. The numbers are impressive. It delivers a 35% reasoning throughput boost over the standard B300, supports context lengths of over 2 million tokens, and can handle persistent agent graphs, meaning it can keep track of complex multi-agent workflows over time. It packs 320 gigabytes of HBM4E memory, integrates NVLink 6 for fast chip-to-chip communication, and is optimized for FP4 reasoning workloads, which is a lower precision format that lets you run more computation with less power. And on that note, the power envelope is actually reduced by 8% compared to the B300, which matters a lot at data center scale. Jensen Huang put it simply, agentic AI requires a new inference architecture. Dylan Patel from SemiAnalysis captured the broader shift nicely on X, saying, inference is the new training. Early partners include AWS, CoreWeave, and Oracle Cloud. Sampling has already started, and volume shipping is expected in Q3 of this year. As models push context windows into the millions of tokens and enterprises spin up increasingly complex agent systems, the hardware that runs all of that inference becomes absolutely critical, and Nvidia is making sure it stays at the center of that equation.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.